you want Fangio on your team with defense because holy crap, like what he's done with the defense with all of those starters missing, like you don't want to get rid of that. The problem is you're completely lacking on the offensive side. So where's the balance? What's the answer here?
I think one of the biggest things, Mike, and you've hammered it away, particularly with your Fitzmagic, is a veteran backup.
Bring COVID with you. I don't care. We want him.
He brings COVID and his Rubik's Cube that he saw.
His little face filter right here.
Yeah. The face filter does not work. Beards do not work, people. Sorry, Richie. Stay inside.
He shaved it. He shaved it.
It's back, he said. It's back. But if Drew had that person, and he has it with Rippon to some degree, but they're peers, like he doesn't have that guy. I mean, Jeff Driscoll was 1-7 when he came to us. It wasn't like he was this guy that had any level of accomplishment on any team that had done it. I mean, let's be frank here. Tua is not the reason the Dolphins are possibly going to clinch a playoff berth this week. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's that backup leadership. Look what happened when Mahomes went down last year. A veteran quarterback who you don't think is going to be all that great was able to set the ship straight, and they ended up continuing the win. Like, it's just, you need that, and we don't have that. We don't have somebody that, and Flacco was supposed to be that guy, but he, as an elite quarterback, he didn't want to take that role. And
one of the things that's so aggravating is that we have Driscoll on the team with so much money, and we let Bortles go. Like, I'm not saying Bortles would be a starting quarterback, but he's that veteran that would have the answers if Rippon doesn't have them, that could back up Rippon or Locke, and then you have Driscoll on the practice squad because Driscoll is terrible. Like, Bortles has at least been there. Like, I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. But he's at least backup worthy. And that's that veteran presence that you need. I don't want to pass the team off to him because, good Lord, you want to be put into mediocrity. There you go. Put in Bortles. I'm just saying, like, why would you not utilize Bortles more in that role instead of Driscoll?
Because they're paying Driscoll a lot more money than Bortles. That's why.
Screw it. We saw how Driscoll played. No, thank you.
Yeah, we did. And that, unfortunately, falls on Elway's lap for going out and paying Driscoll all that amount of money and not getting – to me, I don't think that – Driscoll did decent against the Steelers, almost won that game. But, unfortunately, he needed a win to kind of convince Broncos fans that, hey, this guy was worth the money they paid for. And then he goes and lays an egg against Tampa Bay the following week. So it just, it doesn't, for the last couple of years, it's the last 5 years since the Super Bowl win, it's just kind of John Elway just flipping cards. And it's like he's trying to play a match game, trying to find the perfect quarterback. But, one card is Osweiler, then the next card was Paxton Lynch, then the next card was Trevor Siemian. It just, he keeps flipping and he can't get the match. He can't get the guy. So this offseason.
Oh, I'm sorry, Don. Finish.
I'll just finish my point. This offseason is going to prove just how far John Elway is going to go in terms of trying to find the guy. Like I said in the previous podcast, if John Elway wants to continue as GM of the Broncos, he's going to build a future where Drew Lock is in it. Whereas if he's not going to come back after 2021, then I just think he's going to see how far Drew Lock can go before they phase him out completely.
Only on this podcast would you talk NFL football and Pokemon in the same sentence.
I love Pokemon.
You mentioned Trevor Siemian. Oh, by the way, your shirt is money, by the way, Don.
Thank you.
Siemian wouldn't. He gets a bad rap as far as I'm concerned, as far as his tenure with the Broncos. He did have some success, and he had the worst line, a line that Usain Bolt couldn't.
It was like 5 Wilkinsons all on the same line.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Trevor Siemian wouldn't even be a bad backup option at this point. He's been there. He's been there as a Denver Bronco. He didn't leave on bad terms. The fans don't hate him.
I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, Siemian might be a better starting option.
Yeah.
I don't want him back, but he put up Drew Lock numbers behind that line with really nobody to throw to and nobody to run the ball. So you put him in the offense we have now, I could see Siemian succeeding, but I don't want to go back down that road again.
Just remember that Trevor Siemian's best game in 2017, I think it was against the Cowboys, where he put up a 40-burger, and then the Broncos team got on the hype train, and we were all on the talk shows. Broncos are red hot. Broncos are playoff bound. Broncos this, Broncos that. And I got a bad feeling about it. And then lo and behold, the following week or so later, when we played a very beatable Giants team, the Broncos got steamrolled. And then after that, it felt like Trevor Siemian just fell off a cliff. So in the NFL, guys that start off great end up, sometimes going bad. And then vice versa. Guys that start off bad end up finishing great. So, for him, it's the sky's the limit, I suppose.
Well, and that's one of the things that's so aggravating is like with the line that we have, with the running backs that we have, with the tight end that we have, and with if we had Sutton, it'd be better. But with the wide receivers that we have, it's so aggravating that our offense is one of the worst in the NFL. Because talent-wise, it should not be one of the worst in the NFL. We should be top 15 easy. So during the first 3 quarters of the season, it's Drew Lock is doing this and Drew Lock is doing that, and he can't do that right. With quarterbacks, it's footwork up. So you start with the footwork and you work your way up. Footwork-wise, he's looking better. His footwork, he only throws off the back foot sometimes, and every quarterback does it, so you can't really blame him for that. But his throws are getting more crisp. He's getting more accurate because his footwork is working. So there is progress with Drew Lock, but the offense isn't getting any better. So there has to be something that isn't working with the Broncos offense to make it suck so much. Because you can't.
Melvin Gordon yesterday, did you listen to his? If you haven't watched his comments, and he spoke for about 15 minutes, it's on the Denver Broncos page on Facebook.
He's probably drunk.
No, he was awesome. The answers that he gave were just incredible. And his biggest, he said that basically the Broncos' success in the future rides solely on Drew Lock. And we always look at Drew as a guy with the swagger and the dancing and the confidence. But he suggested that his confidence level is not as high as that. It's something that it's a work in progress. And I thought that was an interesting comment from a starting running back. And Drew came on right after that. And he basically agreed. There's a difference between being confident in certain aspects of the game and being confident in different aspects of the game, and he feels like he has one down, but then still working on the other. And I feel like Drew's getting a little bit more self-aware as the criticism has come. He didn't have any criticism last year, so hopefully it's a sign of growth and future success.
Yeah, you know what? There was actually a comment I was going to make about the whole Jeudy thing, and I totally forgot. So I hope you don't mind if we backtrack a little, Mike. But
I care.
I'm all in, Don. I'm all over the place.
Go ahead.
Yeah. If Jeudy had not gone on Twitter after that Kansas City game and said what he said, then I think Broncos country would have been a little bit more sympathetic towards him and his 6th debacle not cash game. But when you go on Twitter as a sport athlete, whether it's football, basketball, what have you, and you draw that attention towards you and you make everybody watch you, they're going to judge you on every single thing you do. And as a rookie, hopefully that serves as a lesson for every future rookie coming into the league in the future, that you just don't do that. Because when you have a game like he did, And it's not only demoralizing for the player, but then afterwards you deal with the press conference, you deal with your coach getting on your butt about it, you deal with social media coming after you because you open your mouth. It just, you need a lot of patience to not have that, just totally break down your self-confidence, So hopefully, I do hope he learned from that. And I know he's not happy with all the jokes and the memes and stuff that have been going around on Twitter since then. But hopefully he can find a way to use that as fuel for him to come back and be a better person, better player.
Yeah, and I, with him being a rookie, I kind of expect those mistakes. You don't really deal with that too much when you're younger. But I agree. Like if he still would have gotten backlash for the drops, but it would not have been nearly as bad as it was if he hadn't ran his mouth. Like that was his mistake, was running his mouth on Twitter. Like if he just would have kept it down, kept it quiet, and just did your job, you would have caused some heat, but you would have been okay.
You know what? He's not only a rookie, he's a rookie who's never lost in his life. Like I think he had great success as a high school player. I mean, obviously Alabama is just a powerhouse that just continues to steamroll everybody. And then all of a sudden he comes, and as the graphic in the corner indicates, he's on a 5-10 team. There's all sorts of, they're eliminated well in advance of the season ending, and it just, and you're in a division where the other teams seem to be advancing while you're dropping. I can understand his frustration. I'm sure somebody talked to him and said, come into the coach's office if you want to complain about something and not do that. You're really opening yourself up to criticism.